hello beautiful people. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am so pumped about today's video. I have had this idea in mind since before I even had a YouTube channel. I wanted to talk about this for so long. I've told a lot of people my story of my hair journey, and I think it's time for you guys to know my secrets. I'm going to be discussing the 7 ways that I transform my hair from terrible to much better, healthier, and prettier. So these 7 things are nothing that you're gonna find online. It's nothing I've copy and pasted, looked up. This is literally a list that I made. Don't look at it. Of the things that have helped me and literally changed my hair for the better. Everything on this list, it's nothing like, take this supplement, take this pill. It is all about the care of your hair and what you are putting into it. So just stick with me throughout the video. I'm going to talk about my hair journey and everything that I did to get it from bad to better.
We really don't have any subscribers yet because we just started this video and it's totally new. So please like and subscribe and give a big thumbs up and smash that like button.
So if you guys didn't know this about me, I graduated from college in May of 2019. And I have been struggling with my hair since my freshman year of high school. And this transformation really takes place through those 8 years. So it's not like, this is gonna change your life overnight. This is gonna change your life in the next couple hours. This is like a process that has taken a while, but it will get you back on track and where you need to be. So let's take a long walk down memory lane. I can picture it now. A freshman in high school. Life is very strange. All I want is Ashley Tisdale, long bleach blonde hair, and I don't have it. So what do? The only natural thing to do, I box dye my hair.
Bruh.
Never do that. Never do that. But I'm just talking about my journey. So everything until the story is over, just like disregard and never do. So I box dyed my hair. It was very bleach blonde. I'll insert some pictures here. I'm gonna pull them up on my phone so I remember exactly what I'm talking about in the process. My hair lost so much thickness. It lost so much like volume. The ends were so dead. It was dull. It was growing in because I don't have bleach blonde hair, obviously. And it just like, it literally lost its life because I did it on multiple occasions with my friends, with my family, whoever wanted to help me, like I wanted to do it. So after I was done with the bleach blonde hair phase of my freshman year of high school, I then had pretty damaged hair and I wanted to feel more confident. And for those of you watching this that have just like lost your confidence with your hair, like I know better than anyone, like that is just, it's the worst feeling. And there, you want to try so many things to make it better, so many ways to just like make yourself feel better, extensions, wearing your hair up, dyeing it, cutting it. It's just such a process. And like, I feel you so hard on that, but it will get better. You just have to take your time and actually care about what you're doing and like respect your hair, if that makes sense. So I went to a nice hairdresser around my hometown and I told her that I needed extensions or something to make my hair feel more full, better, just anything that could help me. So at the time, tape-in extensions were kind of the new thing. She said, if you want your hair to be healthier, you need to like dye it like even darker than your natural hair, like a little bit darker, because you don't want to upkeep with the blonde. So I dyed my hair brown. Never again, I know I do not look good as a brunette, but just keep with me here. Dyed my hair brown, wore a long extension. They were the tape ones. There was so much upkeep. They were growing. It was expensive to get them put in. Like it was expensive to get them repositioned. It was too much for a high schooler that had a lot on her plate and it was just a nightmare. So I got those extensions taken out. I then moved on to my blonde clip-in extensions, and those looked like this. They were long. I wore them all the time. I wore them down, I wore them up. I had long ponytails, buns. I curled them, I straightened them. I literally tortured them. I wore them so much because I just didn't feel good without them. But meanwhile, they were hurting my natural hair even more by pulling on it, by damaging it, by just making it fall out. Like it was just too much pressure on my head at all times. And like, I didn't even have the confidence to not wear them anymore. So that's where I was at there. After I had extensions, I said, okay, I'm just gonna take them out because my hair is falling out even more. Like, I just need to let it grow. I just wore my hair natural. It was so short, so unhealthy, but like, I just needed it to grow. So I would start wearing my hair up. And then like, I lost so much confidence. I dyed it blonde again, like blonder, not with box dye, but I just told them like I need it to be blonder because that's what makes me feel good. And then I finally started getting a little healthier colors and transitioning into my college years. So my freshman year of college, I still wore the extensions, the same blonde clip-in ones that were like destroyed. That was the only pair that I had. And I wore them like, not all the time, like not to class and stuff, but I would wear them every time I went out. And I just wanted that to last me like up until recruitment. I wanted to wear them in sorority recruitment. And then after I was done with that, I told myself like, if I am in a sorority, like I'll just take them out because then I'll feel like, oh, they don't care. They like me anyway. So I took them out after I joined my sorority, and then I started wearing them again, but I cut them. So I cut them into a shorter length and wore those for a while. Fast forward to the end of my freshman year, I wore the halo extensions that I wore those the summer after my freshman year going into my sophomore year of college. It's like the clear band that goes over your head and it's really long hair. Out of everything, that was the best thing that I ever did because it was the least damaging and they looked very natural and blended in really nicely. I wore the halos for a while. Like, I wore them so much that they were starting to wear down too, and I just decided like, I just need to wear my natural hair. Like, I just need to embrace it, like it'll be fine. So then I start wearing my natural hair. I am not dyeing it like bright blonde, like it's still blonde, but it's not bleach blonde. But I'm like not letting my hairdresser cut it at all, like ever. If my hair grew even a little bit, I'd be like, okay, just dye it, like no cutting, even though it was dead ends and it was all just gross. But I just needed that length so bad to make me feel better for some reason. So after that, I wasn't wearing extensions anymore. Like, I see my hair grow a little bit and I finally let my hairdresser cut my hair. And I was like, so reluctant about it, but at the same time, she just like reassured me like, this is what is going to make your hair healthier. So after I let her cut my hair and just make it super fresh, after that there was no going back, because after I felt that feeling, my hair felt longer than it had ever. Let me kind of like show it, I guess it's been behind me, but my hair felt longer than it had even before she had cut it, and it felt healthier, more full. So I was like, okay, maybe just every time I get my hair cut, I need to go and get everything dead, just completely chopped off, no matter how short it is. That is what's going to help me. So I started getting the really fresh cuts. I started wearing my hair up more often, like, and not with as much heat tools, unless I was going out or something. And I just really let my hair grow. Then after my hair had grown out a little bit more, I started like the balayage process. I did have my hair like that for a while, where it was really dark and then faded into the blonde, and it's still like kind of like that, but more just because my roots are growing and obviously no places are open right now to go get it done. So yeah, my hair journey has been long. It's been tedious. I've tried like everything in the book to look better, to make myself feel better. And I think that the tips that I have like are actual solutions rather than just putting the Band-Aid on something. So I hope that you guys enjoy these tips, and yeah, let's just get started. So my current hair is by far the healthiest it has ever been in like my adult life. Like, since I've started like getting highlights, since I've gotten like professionally cut hair, you know, pretty much since like middle school, my hair is like the healthiest now that it's ever been. It's grown in thickness, it looks healthy at the bottom, like it's just overall so much better. And I truly think it's because of this list of things that I have. So you're like, just tell us the list of things that you have. So let's get started. So number one, no, is never under any circumstances dye your hair or do your hair yourself with box dye. Like, bruh. I just want to start off by saying I am not a professional hair person in any way. Like, don't credit me for that, but this is all stuff that has just worked for me, and I know that any hairdresser would tell you, do not dye your hair with box dye, because that was just like the beginning of the end for me, like doomsday. That it ruined everything. It truly, truly did. So even if your hair looks bad, like, and you can't get to a hairdresser right now, just like wait it out, because you are going to ruin your hair. So just please don't do that. That is really what hurt me the most. So the next thing that I want to discuss is your type of hairbrush. This is so important. And growing up, I grew up with pretty much just my dad raising me. Like, I never had nice hair things. I never had good shampoo, conditioner, detangler, any aftercare in the shower. That didn't even exist, basically. Hairbrushes were just like whatever was laying around and whatever we could get for cheap, and just that was that. I never thought anything of it. But your hairbrush makes such a big difference for your hair. The two hairbrushes that I suggest are right here. This is from the brand Wet Brush. I'm sure you've probably heard of them or seen them in stores. They are literally everywhere, like Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, like Amazon, probably online, Ulta, like they're everywhere. And they are like so cheap, especially because I shop at like Marshall's and TJ Maxx and stuff a lot, and they always have these for super, super cheap. And a lot of the stuff that I get for my hair, actually, I get from those places because it's just so discounted. The reason I have two different hairbrushes, because this one, as you can see, you can kind of like see through it. This is what I use. It is the, I don't think it like has an official name, but it's the Wet Brush, and I know on the packaging it says like for wet hair to dry, because whenever you comb through it, it like, I don't know, it just like, it's something with these cutouts that makes your hair dry faster, and I always use this after I get out of the shower. This hairbrush is what I use for like drying my hair if I have to do that, or like straightening, just brushing it out anytime it's dry. This is what I use. So I would like totally recommend getting a hairbrush that's not ripping out your hair like all the time. There's so many bad hairbrushes out there, and I'm sure there's tons that work for, I'm like gonna start playing the drum. Anyways, I'm sure there's tons of hairbrushes that work for other people and that other people would recommend, but these are the hairbrushes that work best for me, and I would totally recommend them to anyone, because every hairbrush I've had before this just like does not compare. Ripped my hair out way more, and these truly helped me. Moving on. So the next thing that I want to talk about is your shampoo and your conditioner. Shampoo and conditioner. So important. Like, probably out of everything, the most important. What you are putting into your hair is affecting it so much more than you will ever know. And I can't even claim to know like everything about this, but what I do know is that you should look for shampoo and conditioners that do not have sulfates in them, because everything that I've read, I feel like every professional person that I've talked to, like that is one of the main things, and from my understanding, they're just like not good. So if you see a brand that doesn't have sulfates, like 100% go for that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, like anything cheap is gonna not be worth it. Like this is the one thing I'll really spend my money on. If you shop at Ulta, they have a large container sale every year, maybe like twice or 3 times a year, where they sell their big bottles of shampoo and conditioner and body wash and stuff for like half off, and I always get them then, and they last me the entire year, if not longer. These have lasted longer, honestly. I use 2 different types. I'm holding up 2 different brands, 2 different types of bottles. These are both the conditioners, but I use the shampoo and conditioner for each. This is the Healthy Sexy Hair Moisturizing Conditioner, and I use the shampoo. It is like scented with mimosa flower extract and moonstones, free of sulfates. So I like totally recommend this for trying to rebuild your hair. And then this conditioner, and I also use the shampoo, is the KENDRA Platinum Luxe Shine Luscious Silkening Conditioner. And it says it's gold enriched. Ooh la la. So I have heard also that an amazing thing to do with your hair is, or with your shampoos and conditioners, is to not use the same one all the time. In my head, it's kind of like if you take the like ibuprofen every single day, even whenever you don't have anything wrong with you or something, it's just not going to affect you the same. So I think that I know that I've heard from people in the past, like if you use one for like healthy hair, then you should use one for like silky or shiny or whatever else you want your hair to be, and do it like every other time. So that's what I do with these. I do like the one shower with this, the next shower with this, and just switch off every single time. I also use like purple shampoo occasionally to brighten up my blonde, but that has nothing to do with making it healthy. Like if anything, it's probably like hurting it a little more. So I'm not gonna mention it or like pull up the brand unless someone specifically asks for that. But these two have seriously helped me, one healthy and one for like shine. And I can't recommend them enough. Like after I started switching my shampoo to stuff that actually works, like actually is helping your hair rather than harming it, it's just like a world of change. The next thing after you shower, you should do after shower care. This is like the holy trinity of my like hair health has been this. I cannot even explain to you how much I know that this has helped my hair. It is like so evident after I shower and put this stuff in that my hair just feels healthier, stronger, like easier to comb through. I'm not losing as much hair in my hairbrushes. This is the SHEIN Keratin Mist. This is the first thing that I use. It says on the bottle, leave-in strengthening treatment, and then the rest is in Spanish, so I can't read that. Leave-in strengthening treatment, and it's 12 ounces, made in the USA. I'm not gonna get into all the details on the back. You can find this also at like a Marshall's or a TJ Maxx for half the price. And I like so recommend this stuff. The first thing that you do when you get out of the shower, you take your hair out of a towel or whatever you do, and you spray this all over your hair. Don't brush it. Spray this all over your hair. The next thing that you're going to do, if you want to do what I do, is I use this SHEIN Keratin leave-in conditioner. Sounds the same as this, but completely different. This is like a liquid spray, like it looks like you're spraying water or something. It doesn't smell like it or feel like it, but that's what it looks like. And then this is like it kind of looks like a conditioner, like not a stick, but it's like you put it in your hands and it looks like that. It does have a spray bottle and you can spray it, but it comes out like kind of like in a solid. I spray like 3 or 4 pumps in my hand and rub it all over the bottom of my hair like this, get it all over each piece, all over the front pieces, and then I comb out my hair. Only after I use these 2 products. I will not brush my hair without it because I'm just ripping my hair out. It hurts and my hair doesn't even feel good after that. So after I use red bottle of this, then gold bottle, then hairbrush, I go in with an oil to like really give my hair some life, not like volumizing life, but like just make it feel so much softer. Like the ends that normally like dry out first really absorb that moisture. And I cannot recommend like putting some type of oil in your hair enough. I don't know like too much about all the different types, but what I'm using right now is called Menage Marula Oil Hydrating Mist. Weightless formula, moisturize and condition, antioxidant enriched. Looks like this. It will last you a really long time because you don't need too much because you don't want to make your hair like greasy. I only sprayed at the ends, never at the top, but I just like, I love putting the oil into my hair. You can use this in wet or dry hair. Like I can put this in my hair right now, which normally I would probably put it into my hand, rub it, and then put it on the ends. Oh my gosh, it just makes my hair feel like literally like I just got a haircut. Like so soft, so silky. I just love it. And my hair is not even done for this hair video right now. Like this is naturally drying, whatever. And that's something that I'm gonna get to next. If you're curious, this is tip number 5. Always make your hair schedule match your life schedule. When I finally figured out that my hair schedule should match my like life schedule is when things seriously took a turn for the better. If you are washing your hair every single day, unless your hair is like so much different than mine, like I'm talking like full shampoo, conditioner, all of that, I can't imagine that it is good for your hair. Like I wash my hair at least like have a day in between. The other thing that I want to mention is making this your BFF. This is the Batiste Instant Hair Refresh Dry Shampoo in the scent Sassy and Daring Wild.
My Ziggy Tiger.
and they have a million different scents. This is the one that I personally like the best. One of my friends turned me on to this, and it smells so good.
Oh, that's amazing.
I really like it. This is like super powerful. I buy the big bottles of it only because like I know I'm going to use the whole thing eventually, and it's a better value. You can find them at Marshall's and TJ Maxx as well. Like, sponsor me for this video, please.
Not spoken, good looking, love to party and have fun.
I cannot live without dry shampoo. I love it so much, and it seriously makes a world of difference when it comes to styling your hair and refraining from showering and using those heat products so often. Like, if I can, I will wear my hair like in a pretty little updo and a nice little bun, like with dry shampoo, before I have to shower again and just like keep putting that damage onto my hair. The more you can just like let it stay back and like do its own thing and not have to wash it, dry it, straighten it, do whatever, like that is the better. So definitely recommend getting a dry shampoo. I really like this one and I use it often.
Magic.
Bloom, I'm sure everyone's loving this. Squeaky from you. So when I say that your hair schedule should match your life schedule, I'm talking about planning exactly when you need to do your hair. I'm talking about like, when do you need to put heat on your hair specifically? Because the less, the better. So if you are doing something where you don't really need to have your hair like blow dried, like do without it. Try to just shower and then not dry your hair as much as possible, unless you are in like a serious rush and you need your hair dried, like with a blow dryer or whatever you may use. Just refrain from doing that, because that's going to make a world of difference, just using the least amount of heat as possible. Okay, so that kind of makes a nice little transition into heat tools. We all know what I'm going to say. Like, you shouldn't use them. You should use them as the least amount as possible, but I get it. Like, you need to use them if you want to go out, if you want to look nice, if you need to style it a certain way. Like, there's really no other way to do it. So the solution is buying the best products for your hair, not going cheap, getting stuff that isn't harming your hair. I used to have a straightener that I bought from those people that like stand around the mall and like sucker you in and do your hair and then beg you to buy the thing. I bought one of those. Well, my mom probably did whenever I was younger. It seriously ripped out my hair so much. Every time I straightened it, I would like be able to pull pieces out of the little clamps, like because it would grab onto my hair in some weird way. I don't know why I kept it for so long. I just did. It was just not good. But since then, I've grown up, I started making my own money, and I can afford to buy nicer things. Go me. So this is the Nano Titanium by Baby Bliss Pro, and I don't know if it has any other words, numbers. It doesn't look like it. I got this from Ulta as well. Like, I always think if there's only one price for it, like on Amazon, online, at Ulta, at Walmart, like buy it wherever you can get rewards points and more money off. So I bought this at Ulta, and it also came with a wine bottle opener. This has been the best straightener by far for me. It does heat up a lot, but it's like it has a long, let me unwrap. A really long section of this tool is actually the heated part. So like from here to here, oh, you can't really see that. How can I show? From here to here is actually like where this bad boy heats up. So that's so good rather than a small section, because that means you can get a huge section of your hair done in one swipe rather than going over it. Like, I used to straighten my hair like this in high school, like over and over and over.
2 hours later.
It just never, it seemed like it never ended because I would use a little bit, like the plates weren't good. Like, this is worth the money, I'm telling you that. All of my friends love this straightener, like no matter what their hair type. They have a lot thicker hair than me and they love it. Some people have the same like hair, like finish, and they love it. So it isn't just me. Like, I totally recommend this straightener and any other hair tools that are actually worth your money and not gonna like burn up your hair, pull on it, yank it out, whatever. If you have to use heat tools, use smart heat tools. The other thing about using heat tools is that one way that you can really help yourself out is by parting your hair so you don't have to go over the same pieces over and over and over again. I love these little alligator clips because they are just so easy to like clamp your hair up and make them actually stay rather than some of the big like mouth clips. and they let you part your hair. You can do one section at a time and not have to worry about going over it a million times to try to fix it. And I just love them because whenever I do my hair now, like I do one section at a time. I don't have to keep going over it. If a section's done, it's done, and then that's that. So if you are using heat tools, I definitely recommend parting your hair into different sections so you're not going over the same pieces over and over and over again. The last thing that I'm gonna mention about using heat tools is that you definitely need to use a heat spray. This one is also from Lange. It is called the Rival Heat Shield. It's keratin infused, it has chamomile extract, and it locks out humidity. I got a bunch of their sprays for all different types of things in a kit that I bought whenever I bought my curling wand online from them. I think this one works pretty well. I definitely like that it has keratin in it because that's always good for your hair. And yeah, I just recommend really any heat shield. But like I showed in my crimping video, if you don't like how sticky it is, I always spray it in my hands and then put it in my hair rather than spraying my hair with it, because I think that can tend to weigh your hair down and make it like clump together and sticky. So I spray it in my hands and then I rub it all around my hair, and I think that is giving me the best results. Finally, on to last but not least, number 7. And I really think that this is something that people don't talk about enough. Like, it doesn't always have to do with the products and how you're treating your hair, how much you're washing it, if you're drying it, using heat tools, yada, yada, yada. Your nutrition is so important. I know that whenever I was in high school, I never ate vegetables, I never ate fruit. I really just ate anything that was available, anything that I could make myself in the microwave, anything that I could put in the oven for 10 minutes. Like, I didn't really branch out much. I wasn't really open to trying new things. Like, I was picky, number one. I was too busy to do anything, and I didn't realize like the value of nutrition until college, really. So whenever I went to college, I realized like you need to be eating like obviously fruits, vegetables. Like, it sounds so dumb, but like I just neglected that so much in high school. Like, I would go to volleyball practice and then afterwards I would have like a large fry from McDonald's for dinner. Like, and that would just be fine because it filled me up and it made me feel fine, so whatever. But looking back, maybe that's why my hair wasn't growing, because I had literally no nutrition besides salt and fries and sweet teas from McDonald's. So yeah, but I've really branched out since then. I feel like I eat such a much more rounded like dinner, meals in general, lunches, breakfast, like everything. I really try to include a fruit, a protein, a vegetable, like all throughout the day. And drinking a ton of water is definitely key, because without these things, I know my hair would not be growing as much as it is. I completely changed my diet and my hair changed with it. It was growing like so much faster, it was growing in thicker, and it wasn't like as easy to damage, if that makes sense. I just think that nutrition is so overlooked, and that should really, really help you and your hair grow. So guys, I know that list of things wasn't like super unique or something that you've like probably never heard before or whatever, but these are things that I have like proven, like I can show with my pictures. This has been what's changed for me. Like, I didn't have any help from people. Like, I've tried all the supplements out there. I've tried like, you know, all the supplements. I've tried them all and nothing really worked for me. But just taking care of my hair actually did. And you know, I know there's other tips that people say like, oh, brushing your hair however many times a day and stimulating the whatever, and that's not something that I do. And I'm giving you these real tips that I actually use and that I can prove have changed my hair for the better. So I really hope that these helped you. I hope that you're feeling more confident with your hair. If you're not feeling like absolutely beautiful, you are. Like, your hair doesn't define you, but I know that it can be such a struggle, and I really wish you nothing but the best. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. I love answering questions and getting people like what they need and just making people happy. Like, why would we all not try to help out people if we know something? Like, try to give valuable information when we can. Like, just help somebody. Everybody needs it, you know? So I really hope that this video helped you, and I hope that you enjoyed the entire thing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
So please be a subscriber. Just one of you, I don't care how much there is, just one of you. I love you, whoever subscribed, are the best. Whoever subscribed, you will be one of my fans forever. Guys, I love you guys. Whoever subscribed. Bye.